Hey guys, it's Michael Mattiazzi again here with another video for you. So being a personal trainer, a question I get asked very often is, how do you commit to a workout routine? How do you make that a lifestyle? How do you make it a habit? It's now early March and a lot of you probably made or have been committing to New Year's resolutions that are workout routines. If you're still committed to that, awesome. Unfortunately, what happens with the majority of people, and believe me, this happened to me a lot in the past as well, is you fall off that trail very early on. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 steps on how you can stay committed to a workout routine, how you can make working out a habit for you. All 5 of these steps reflect on me very personally. I feel like these 5 steps really contributed to making me the personal trainer that I am today. So my first step that I'm going to give you guys is you want to make sure that what you guys are doing for your workout is a physical activity that you actually enjoy. So a lot of people have this idea in their head that working out is, going to the gym, lifting weight, kind of doing some kind of routine to tone your muscles, but it really doesn't have to be that way. As long as it's some kind of physical activity, working out can take multiple kinds of forms. You can get a nice workout in when you're doing something like soccer with your buddies, when you're out playing golf, when you're going for a walk, when you're at the yoga studio with your friends. I would say find something that you really love to do, whether it's one of those activities or something else, and try to stick to it about 3 to 4 times a week. Now I know what you're thinking. If you're on a soccer team, if you're on a basketball team of any sort, whether it's a beer league or you guys are actually kind of playing like house league kind of competitively, now I know what you guys are thinking. Well, Mike, we only play soccer once a week. We only have that basketball game once a week. How are we supposed to do that 3 to 4 times a week? Well, just a suggestion. One thing I used to do when I was playing beer league soccer is you guys can have practices 2 to 3 times a week. If it's nice outside, host a practice at your local park with your buddies. Even do it on your own. Practicing your skill is such a good way to unwind and to get physically active, get out there. If that's even too complicated, you could do something even more simple. You can do foot speed drills in your basement, dribble a ball in your basement, dribble a basketball in your basement. It could be anything along the lines like that. Keep it simpler. Once you have found an activity you enjoy, it becomes easier to build off of this. You'll start getting committed to a routine with your friends and you'll maybe think, oh gee, you know what? My stride is really bad in hockey. I need to get to the gym to improve this. And then it just kind of builds more and more further upon itself. Now I know if you're like me and you live in Canada, hosting a practice outdoors for soccer or even basketball, it gets very, very difficult in winter months. I totally understand. But keep it simpler. You could do something in your basement like you can do something in your basement like foot speed drills, dribbling a basketball. Could be like 10 to 20 minutes a day, just something very simple and generic like that. My step number 2, find a deeper value to motivate yourself. Most people start working out for more exterior motive. I have a lot of people come to me saying, you know what, my girlfriend just dumped me. I want to show her that I've got such an amazing body. I'm going to start going to the gym. If I lose 30 pounds, my crush maybe will notice me. If I can make my booty bigger, I can go and talk to some guys with some confidence. Now these goals, I know they seem very intriguing on the outside, but they're not very deep. I know many people who try to commit to goals like this and they go to the gym for a week and then they never go back. The reason being is because the goal is too shallow. It has a very short meaning. It's short-term motivation. You want something deep, something long, something with depth that will make you keep going back day after day after day. I have to admit, I'm very guilty of starting my routine with a motive like that. I started going to the gym very heavily after I had a heartbreak in my life. I can admit, it's a good start, it's a good spark to get you to go, but just make sure that you find something deeper and deeper to keep you going afterwards. Ultimately, what made me keep going back to the gym is I found it was helping improve my self-confidence, something that I felt I really lacked most of my life. I would start out writing down ideas in your head why you want to go to the gym. What is it that you can do for yourself? So for example, maybe you want to prioritize self-care, which would in turn make you a better mother with your kids, or maybe it'll make you a better boyfriend or a better father. Maybe you're an athlete and you have goals to be the best basketball player, the best hockey player. In reality, working out is an investment in your inner self. I'm willing to bet you've already heard that what you do to make your inside better will reflect and make your outside world all the same. That is very true when it comes to working out. As I mentioned, my road to motivation with working out is kind of a little bit bumpy. It changed a lot along the way. I'm really grateful it did change along the way because I've been able to be committed to my workout routine for so long. The reasons why I work out has changed a lot over the years. So, as I mentioned, I started it as a method to improve my self-confidence around girls. Kind of like I mentioned, I wanted, bigger biceps, I wanted bigger chest, abs, and all this other stuff that you see in a men's health magazine. I felt like I was lacking it, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna really commit to this. Eventually, what happened is I started working at a hockey development facility. And what started happening is I was already about a year deep into my own personal workout routine, and I saw my coworkers coaching other kids, and I thought, you know what, maybe this is something that I can do. I can maybe find some value coaching other kids get through their tough times and their struggles to help build their self-confidence like I had to build my own. And that's when I kind of realized that maybe this is a calling for me. So then my motivation developed from me wanting to build my self-confidence to me wanting to become a coach. I invested my time into learning as much about my body and attributes as much as I can to develop myself, to master my body so I can in turn teach athletes how to do the same for themselves. Now that I'm actually a coach, my goal is really to just learn as much as possible about strength and conditioning. With that being said, it's impossible to actually master your body. It's a daily commitment that you have to do every single day. My current motivation to working out is learning as much about my body as possible, so that way when I'm coaching others, I'm able to help them through their goals, their motivation. And I'll give you a current example. So the exercise Bulgarian split squats. It cringes me to think about that exercise. It is such a quad burner. And so when I see a student grinding through sets and reps of split squats, I can relate to them and say, you know what, this is such a hard exercise. It is one of my least favorites, but it is so beneficial. Keep grinding through it. So basically what I'm trying to say is once the motivation comes from the heart, it is deep and profound. You want to help others, kind of like I found in myself, then it becomes so much more meaningful. It becomes such a much stronger value. You're able to associate with it much more, so it motivates you further. My step number 3 into how to making working out a habit. More important than your physical muscles are actually your mental ones. That means building your willpower. What do I mean by that, you ask? Well, like doing simple things like not eating dessert, not going out to eat fast food, waking up super early in the morning. Those are things that will actually improve your willpower. Convincing yourself, forcing your mind that you don't need that, like you can get on without eating a cookie or eating a piece of cake, will actually develop your sense of willpower, so that way the next time when a big decision like that comes up, so you hear your alarm going off, buzzing at 4:30 in the morning, you say to yourself, okay, I can do this. Absolutely. Those little things will build your willpower, make you develop good habits. If you easily give up and give in and eat the cookie when your mind is telling you not to, or you hit the snooze button at 4:30 in the morning and you sleep in for another hour, those are actually just weakening your willpower muscles. An author I really like named Robin Sharma says it takes about 66 days to build a habit. He said in those first 22 days is the most hardest part, when you feel like you're just ripping your life apart. Everything's so different. The second 22 days, from day 23 to 44, is when you kind of start to get a little bit more familiar with it and you're starting to install it more and more into your lifestyle. Then the last 45 to 66 days is when it starts to become a little bit more simpler. Then once you hit that 66-day point, you're at a point of automaticity. So here's my challenge to you. Work out every day, do very light activity for about 66 days. It could be like 10 to 20 minutes. And then after you get past that 66-day point, when you feel like it's a lot more automatic, reward yourself to something. Like a big dinner, throw a social party, invite the family over to have a big celebration. Adding some kind of reward to the end of your goal is something that will help you attain it. My step number 4 is hiring a coach and or working out with a friend. Now, even though I'm a personal trainer, that doesn't mean I go around making my own workout programs. In fact, I have one of my coworkers do that for me. This way, when I'm doing my workouts, I don't discount my actual ability or willpower when I'm doing my workouts. So for example, I know I mentioned I hate split squats. When I'm making my own programs, I may think, you know what, I'm not gonna do split squats today. Whereas when I have someone else do it for me, it's more likely to be put into my program and it's like, oh, okay. yeah, he's right, I really gotta grind through that. It's just an exterior motivation. So that way I'm not thinking, oh, you know what, it's too hard, I'm not gonna do that today. Then once you grind through that, you feel a lot better in the end. Personally, I feel like I have no problem working out alone. I've done, I'd say, maybe 90% of my workouts in my life all by myself. But I do know there are a lot of people out there that prefer having a friend there with them. The benefit of friends and coaches are they can give great words of encouragement to keep you pushing through a set and some very, very hard reps. Even just simple words like, let's go, come on, you can do it, always have actually, I have to admit, allowed me to perform a lot beyond what I'm capable of. So that's very beneficial. Going to the gym with a friend also makes it easier because you're building a habit with someone else. You're able to relate to that together. You're not on the wagon all by yourself. Another benefit of having a friend come with you or a coach is, you know, when you're texting your friend saying, oh, you know what, shoot man, I'm gonna have to miss the gym today, I can't make it. Then you get a text back saying like, oh, what do you mean you can't make the gym today? What, you gotta prioritize that. Those little messages coming back to you, although they may sound kind of negative and misunderstanding, will actually push you to go further and want to hit the gym. Having a coach is also very beneficial because they can put together a personalized program for you that can benefit you in areas you didn't even think you needed benefiting in. If this is something you can afford, it is very awesome because they can help you with things like mobility, stability, things that you didn't think you needed help with that you are able to invest in because they see these deficiencies in you that you didn't know you had. It does get a little bit tricky with a coach because you want to make sure that you're investing in a coach who's very invested in you and makes an effort to follow up with you and care for you. The other benefit of hiring a coach, they can change up your routine for you every 3 to 4 weeks. Now you can obviously do this on your own. What I mean by this is, you know, maybe the first 3 weeks they have you doing something like goblet squats. And then when you get too bored of goblet squats, you feel like, oh man, I don't want to do another week of this. So then after that 4th week or 5th week or whatever your program's done, the next thing you know, you're doing deadlifts and it's like, oh, cool. Like now you got something else to look forward to go to the gym. Having your program getting changed constantly by a trainer is very beneficial for this reason. A change up of the schedule can keep you motivated to keep going. Now my 5th and final step is to simplify the time and the location of your workouts. I found that the more all over the clock and lack of time management I've had and I've seen other people have with their workout routines just results in them not going to the gym at all. You want to schedule the exact same time every day for when you work out, whether it's right before work, right as you're coming home from work. The consistency just makes it easier for you to install it into your routine. I work out and still work out every day on my lunch break between 11:30 and 1:30 p.m. Now I know it helps for me because I work at a gym, so I'm right there. I don't have to do any traveling. I just eat my sandwich, I have a little snack, and then I get right into my workout. So that brings me to my next point about simplifying the time and location of your workout. You want to make sure that the gym is very close to your work or to your home, somewhere in between the commute. So if you wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym, you might want to make sure that your gym's very close to the proximity of your home. That way when you're done your workout, you can shower at the gym and then just be on your way to go to work. Or vice versa, you can make sure it's close to the location of your work, so that way you drive to the gym, show up at like 5:30, do your workout, shower, drive a block, and then you're starting your shift at 7. If you want to go to the gym in the evening, you want to make sure it's a block away from your work or a block away from home. That way you're close and on the way between your commute, so it's not too far out and out of the way. Simplifying these aspects makes it so much easier for you. I feel like many people struggle because they go to these fancy gyms way out of the way, and so they don't end up going to the gym. I would say you don't need a super gym with that fancy pool or that fancy sauna until you're more committed to the routine. So start with something even more simpler, something that has dumbbells, some squat racks, something more fit to your needs and your routine as a beginner. And then when you get more into it, you feel like you're developing it more and more into a habit. That's when I would say you would want to look into going to that fancy gym that's a little bit further out of the way from your commute. So starting a little bit simpler, and then as you make it more and more of a habit and you want to take it more seriously, like maybe you want to take up something like lifting, then that's when you would want to go looking for a more advanced gym. But until then, stay simple, keep it local, keep it in between your commute. There you guys have it. Those are my 5 steps of making a workout routine a habit. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If there's anything you feel like you'd like to suggest, please comment in the comment box below. I'm more than happy to read your comments and see what you have to say. Please share this video with a friend you feel like needs to watch it. And I hope this really motivated you to start up a nice workout routine for yourselves. So the best of luck to you guys. I really hope that this video helps you develop some good habits. Just remember, just keep it simpler and it'll eventually keep building on itself.